Hello again. Hope you're all doing well. So let's start this session. And tonight it's the third session of the Duolingo prep class. On the last session, we have spoken about the strategies and tips for improving your speaking and writing section. And in this session, we particularly will dig into the reading and listening skills. And then we will move on and cover other topics that we have on the official guide of the Duolingo test. So here you can have the screen and you can see the official guidebook here, and particularly in this session we're moving to the reading and listening section and to the reading and listening skills, because on the last session we have covered speaking and writing section, and we have spoken about all the tips, tricks and strategies for speaking and writing section. For tonight we will move on to reading, listening, and then we will cover this topic which says how to test your best and then make sure you're comfortable and energized and get in the right mindset, ensure privacy, check equipment, and how to pace yourself before the test, during the test, and after the test. These are the topics that we are going to cover for this session, and at the end of the session you're going to have your questions, so you will have time for asking your questions. So particularly, I want to talk about the reading skill, about tips and tricks or strategies which can help you to increase your reading skill and to do well in the reading part. So the first tip which we have here on the reading section, that's read blogs, follow social media accounts, and join groups with posts in English. So in fact, with this tip, they want to tell you that keep in touch with reading section, okay? Keep in touch with magazines, with blogs, with social media, with groups they post in English. So just keep in touch with them and read English every single day. So I told you some personal suggestions that please try to buy books and read different books in English. Whether you download PDFs or buy them hard, buy their hard, no matter, just read English. Okay, read in English. It really works. Then try to subscribe to the most famous publications like The Guardian, like BBC, CNN, and New York Times, Bloomberg. These are really good publications, and they post scientific research and in different fields and different topics. So you can on the same time you can cover your general knowledge. You can increase your general knowledge, and you're reading in this English of the Duolingo or any test that you desire to take. And the second tip here says that read articles and news in English. You'll often be able to rely on your general knowledge of current events to help you understand. So just read articles and news, as I told you, that go to those publications. They have really academic and nice articles and publications. So please just go there, enroll, and subscribe them, and at least try to read at least one passage or at least one article per day, or at least 2-3 articles. If it was 2-3 articles per day, that would be really nice. And the next tip is that read books or ebooks in English. Maybe it's starting with topics you're already familiar with. You can even reread your favorite books in the English translation. So guys, 3 tips that they're somehow connected with each other. So the first tip, read blogs or follow social media accounts which they post in English. The second one, read articles and news in English. And the third one, read books and electronic books in English. So exactly these 3 things work. Just put a time, make a timetable for yourself, and at least 30 minutes to 1 hour per day you should keep in touch with reading. Just read different things, because this reading really helps. So particularly, there are some books by the name of Extensive Reading. I think they have 4 copies. So try to download these extensive reading books, because they're really nice. They have a passage in different topics, in sociology, psychology, for example, in biology, in physics, in chemistry, in astronomy, in space, in for example, nature, jungles, about everything. They have different topics, or history, geography. They have different topics, and for example, there is a passage in around 700 words. In TOEFL, the passages are around 700 words, but in Duolingo, they are really short. So Duolingo is quite easier that they on the reading part. So read those passages on the extensive reading book, and then there are some questions that follow. So then you can move on to the questions and answer the questions particularly. And the questions are, for example, multiple choice questions. Multiple choice questions are mostly in TOEFL, not in Duolingo. But in Duolingo, there are some kinds of questions that really they want to just measure your ability in reading section. So just keep in mind these tips and tricks for the reading section. So let's move on to the next part, the listening section. Here is 3 tips for the listening section. The first tip says that listen to music in English. Music is catchy, has a lot of repetition, and it helps you learn useful phrases in a memorable context. And look up the lyrics to check what you hear. So I'm sure you know the meaning of word lyrics. When, for example, there is a song or an English music, and when they, for example, pronounce the sentences, lyrics are, when those sentences are written on the song, this type of song is called lyrics, or lyrics is in fact the written poem of the song. So I'm sure most of you are really more into music and you like music, especially myself. I really like music, particularly English music. So if you are listening to music in other languages like Persian or any other language, so please just convert them to English. After this, try to download English music, English songs, whether they are, for example, soft music, whether they are, for example, music with a very fast tone, whether they are, for example, rap musics even. Just download those kind of music with lyrics. It means with the sentences have been written on the song. Okay, please download the lyrics also, and then if possible memorize them. Okay, it really works because musics are catchy, they're interesting, you don't get bored about them, and they just help you learn English or listen to the English very enthusiastically. And you can, for example, even I'm sure you experienced that memorizing a music or memorizing a song is very easy. Just you listen it 2 or 3 times, automatically you can memorize it. So just start with this and at least try to, for example, memorize a song in English or a music in English in 2 or 3 days. Try to just, for example, memorize that song, and if possible, read it with yourself. Just, for example, mimic it with yourself, because you can learn the listening and the speaking through listening to songs. So just keep in mind that listening to English music is really helpful. And then watch shows or movies in English by switching the language of the audio. You can check out movies originally made in English, and you might be able to find options that include English subtitles. So the next thing is watch shows or movies in English. Guys, I really recommend a YouTube channel which is by the name of TED. TED is the most famous stage of conferences in America. It is an American company, but they have a lot of branches in different countries. And TED, people from different parts of the world, they gather in the stage, and there is, for example, someone who presents something. And that thing is something very new in science, in art, in music, in politics, or anything else. Just they talk about very important things around the world. So I'm going to share the link of a video from TED, and you can watch that video and subscribe to their channel and watch their videos accordingly, because their videos are really professional, they're academic, they have subtitles, and they can really help you with the listening part, whether it's for TOEFL or for Duolingo. And the last tip is that find apps or podcasts in English. Yeah, here I have an application on my cell phone by the name of, BBC Learning English. I suggest this application for you also, BBC Learning English, because in this BBC Learning English application, there are a lot of podcasts in different areas, in different subjects. There are a lot of podcasts. They last around 5 to 6 minutes, even more than that, less than that. It means 5 to 6 minutes is according to TOEFL, and less than that can be according to Duolingo. So listening to those podcasts can really, really help. And look for options related to news, sports, history, fashion, and topic you like to hear about in your own language. Some apps may have helpful videos too. So just guys, try to make learning English interesting. Don't make it boring for yourself. For example, I also told this on the previous session that when you want to, for example, learn English, of course, maybe you will have a pattern, someone you like him or her, and he or she is American. So just download their videos and listen to them. Maybe, for example, you are more into sports, so listen to the sport reports and read the sport news on English. Maybe you're, for example, very interested in fashion. You just want to know about different brands like Gucci, Zara, LVMH, there are thousands of these brands. Maybe you like them, so just search about their company, watch their videos on YouTube, and listen to their news, read their news. They really help. Just try to learn English with fun, because learning English with fun is really interesting. You can learn a lot of things in a very short period of time, and you will never become bored, or you will never become tired of learning English. That's why just try to make learning English an entertainment for yourself. So we had these 3 suggestions for listening that I really think that these 3 suggestions can help. If you stick to these 3 suggestions, and if you make a timetable for yourself to work on these 3 suggestions, that will be really nice. Guys, at least give yourself 2 hours a day. Just 2 hours a day for practicing on every skill. Just give 30 minutes for every skill. 30 minutes for listening, 30 for speaking, 30 for writing, and 30 for reading. 2 hours per day. Be sure after 1 month you will be completely a different person. And generally your English will level up. Because when you generally level up your English, be sure that you will get a good score. Whether it's in TOEFL, whether it's Duolingo, whether it's IELTS, because all of these international tests are in fact testing your English ability. They're not testing your, for example, ability to take a test. They're testing your ability to use English. So when you put time for practicing on every skill, every single day, so it really works, and it will be really amazing. Just make a timetable for yourself. Just keep in mind all these tricks and strategies that we have said about on the speaking, writing, reading, or listening section. So just keep in mind all of these strategies and try to do them accordingly. They really help. So guys, we're done with the topic of reading and listening also. So the next page that we have here on page 8 of the book, we have 2 major topics. The first one, how to test your best, and the next one, how to pace yourself. So the first one, let's cover the first topic, how to test your best. Guys, because you can choose when and where to take the test, you should take it when you feel your best mentally and physically. That's really nice about Duolingo. In TOEFL, when you booked for example, when you booked a day and a test center, you really need to go, for example, to that test center on that day. But in Duolingo, that's different, because the time and the time is selected by you, and the address is clear anywhere you want. Just have your laptop with yourself. So this can really help to you. Try to just get the test on the time that you feel really relaxed and you feel mentally comfortable, because being comfortable and being relaxed mentally really helps you during the test. So let's cover some subtopics on this area. The first subtopic says that make sure you're comfortable and energized. Yeah, being energized or having energy for the test and being comfortable or relaxed is really important. The first one says plan to take the test at the time of day when you perform best. Exactly. There are some students that they think that they can perform very well at night. There are some students that they think that they can perform very well in the early morning. There are some students that they think that they can perform, for example, in the afternoon. So any time of the day which your performance is good, so please take the test on that time of the day. For myself, I mostly agree with early morning, because in early mornings, most of the time, it's up to me. Humans are different, so maybe afternoon is good for someone, maybe at night is good for someone. But for myself, in the morning, that's really good, because I feel very refreshed and very energized. So just select the time of the day that you think you are energized and you're comfortable. The next one, sleep well the night before. So this is a suggestion that's in every test you always have this suggestion, whether it's Concor, whether it's SAT, ACT, GRE, or TOEFL, IELTS, Duolingo, any test of in all over the world. Just the first suggestion is that sleep well. And the next one, use the bathroom before the test. So that, yeah, this is also important. And then drink enough water before the test. Yeah, and also have a brain-busting snack before the test. Yeah, these are, for example, some of the suggestions that are really good to keep in mind these things. For example, drinking something or eating a very, for example, brain-busting snack before the test. So these things really help to be comfortable and relaxed during the test. And the next topic that we should cover, the next subtopic that we should cover on how to test your best is that get in the right mindset. So what do they mean by saying that get in the right mindset? It says read or watch something in English, try an English language meditation to get calm and focused, and do exercise or calming physical activity before the test. Guys, most of the time, however, you are good, for example, in English. You are good in speaking English. You are good in writing and reading and listening. In every skill, you're really good. But sometimes, for example, because English is not our native language, we mostly don't interact with English most of the time. In Afghanistan particularly, we are using the Farsi language or the Pashto language or other languages that we have inside the country. So we are interacting with English very less. That's why maybe it will happen that you will forget some of the words, you will forget some vocabularies that even you have memorized them before. That's why just how can I tell you, brainstorming or activating your English before the test is really good. For example, before your test, 1 hour before the test or 30 minutes before the test, watch an English movie or watch an English video, or for example, watch a motivational video in English, or for example, do some exercises or some meditations or some physical activities before the test to make yourself comfortable and to wake up your English. Guys, really, most of the time, we really need to wake up our English. Most of the time, we are not, for example, in the mode of speaking English or in the mode of just writing something in English or listening or speaking or reading. So that's why before the test, try to just interact with English. Because when you interact with English, read something or listen to something or watch something, it sounds good because it's somehow wakes up your English. And then the next one is that please ensure privacy because it's really crucial. Put any devices in another room and turn them off. Okay, for example, maybe if you put your cell phone with yourself on the test and during the test, if someone calls you, so I think that will be the end of the test because any noises will just disrupt the test and maybe they will block you. So the first step that you should keep in mind that put any device you have outside the room that you are testing and please turn them off because maybe they will distract you. And the next one is that put away any pens and paper. Taking notes is against the rules. Guys, please keep in mind that in TOEFL, as I told this before also, that in TOEFL, note taking is the best thing that you can do because it's really crucial, whether it's in listening, in speaking, in writing. In these three skills, you really need for note-taking in TOEFL test. But in Duolingo, note-taking is not allowed. If you have a pencil or if you have a paper with yourself and the camera checks out that you have a pen or a pencil with a paper with yourself, they will block you because having a paper or a pen or a pencil on the desk beside your computer is against the rules. So please don't do that. And the next one, warn anyone in the area not to disrupt you. Yeah, particularly if you are taking the test from home. So make sure that kids are not at home. Make sure that no one will enter the room because it's quite difficult in a family in Afghanistan because most of the time we're big families and there are a lot of kids in the family and it's really difficult to, for example, tell them that please don't enter to my room, I have the test. Even if when I join to your class, to the Duolingo class, I make sure everyone that please don't enter to my room, I have the class. And beside that, sometimes my let her sister or brother, they enter the room and just without knocking or anything else. So this thing is not natural. It happens. So if you are taking the test at home, please make sure that for 1 hour or 1 hour and 30 minutes, no one enters your room. Because if they hear the knocking of the door, or if they got aware that someone is entering the room, so 100% they will block your test. So that was about ensuring privacy. And the next one is checking equipment. Yeah, equipments are really crucial. Why? Because they are your equipments. So you are not testing in a professional test center. Because if you test in a test center, so you are not, you don't need to be worried about checking equipments. Because on the test center, the equipments are checked. They're professional. Everything is okay. Because they should prepare everything. They should provide everything okay. Because the test center will not, or they Duolingo test, it does not have any test center, but the ADS, for example, they do not allow official test centers to use, for example, less qualified equipment. So if but you are taking the Duolingo test, so the equipments are yours. So please keep your mind on them. The first step is that make sure your computer is sufficiently charged or plugged in. Exactly. The next one, verify that your internet connection is strong and you will not lose internet connection during the test. I'm just concentrating on this sentence. Please make sure that you won't lose your connection, because if you lose your connection, be sure that the test is will be blocked 100%, because you won't be able to continue. So if possible, try to use from the cell phone internet, not the Wi-Fi, because Wi-Fi is not reliable or trusty, because maybe suddenly you will be out of electricity and that will be difficult. So if possible, please use from your cell phone internet, and make sure that your internet connection is good. And the next one, check that your ID is not expired. Yeah, and take your headphones off and put them in another room, because you don't need headphones, so don't just use them. And guys, please make sure that the camera of your laptop is working, because your ID card, whether it's your mostly that's passport, if you use from the electronic ID card, which we have, electronic taskara, you can use that, but passport is much more reliable and better. You should check your camera, because before the test they will tell you that please take your passport or your ID on the camera. We will screenshots. Okay, so it means they will take the photo of your passport through the camera of your own computer or your own laptop. So please make sure that your camera is working. And also they monitor your test through the camera, through the selfie camera of your computer. So please make sure that the selfie camera of your computer is working. So guys, that's it all about how to test your best. So pay attention to be comfortable and energized before the test. Get in the right mindset means just prepare or interact with English before the test, and then ensure about the privacy of the test, and finally check equipments. So these are the topics on how to test your best. And the next topic that we have is how to pace yourself. On how to pace yourself topic, we will talk about before the test, during the test, and after the test. So these are general information that you really need to know about it. And then we have, for example, test structure with video walkthrough, or test length, about adaptive testing and how the test is set up. They are in other units. So particularly in this unit, just these 3 subtopics and 1 topic is remained. The topic says how to pace yourself. Guys, go to your own pace when preparing for the test, because the test is designed to measure your English proficiency rather than your knowledge of the test. You could take it right now if you want to. So guys, just when they say just pace yourself, just try to be comfortable, and don't try to, for example, do something strange on the test. Just do the test or take the test in a way that you feel comfortable with. Okay, so the best thing for this can be the they practice tests on the free websites that you can find. So there are a lot of free websites. You can go there, you can practice. Particularly go to the English test, Duolingo English test website, because they have free test, so you can practice there. And on the practice test, you will get aware that what is going to be on the test. And then let's cover the subtopics like before the test, during the test, and after the test. What happens? So firstly, what should you do before the test? The first thing you should do is create a free account on englishtest.duolingo.com. All you need to make an account is a valid email address. Okay, just with a valid email address, make an account, and then become familiar with the test by exploring your online account. In addition to this guide and the practice test, you will find many other free resources, so please use those free resources I told you many times. And then in the days leading up to the test, increase your practice of English as much as possible. Exactly, guys. For example, if you had just, for example, 1 week to the test, for example, after 1 week there you have the test. So for this week, please make your free all the day. Just if you have any work, just for example, request for some holidays. If you have anything to do, so please leave them. Please leave everything. And for 1 week, be sure that 1 week can change your score if you try so much. Okay. However, they say that 1 week or 2 weeks are not something very, for example, a big deal for the test. But if you, for example, have all the day, for example, from 24 hours for 1 week, if you study, for example, for around 16 hours or 15 hours a day, be sure that your result will completely change. For example, on the if 1 week remains to the test, so make a schedule and try at least 3 up to 5 practice tests every single day. For example, 5 practice tests every single day will, for example, in 7 days or 6 days, it will be equal to 30 practice tests. And after 30 practice tests, which the 31 will be the real test, you will be so comfortable. And approximately everything will be, for example, familiar with for you. And you will not face to something strange. And beside the practice tests, as I told you, put time for each skill that you need, okay, for the listening, reading, speaking, and writing. So this way you can really get a good score in the Duolingo test. And then I said this option which says in the days leading up to the test, increase your practice of English as much as possible, and then know exactly when and where you want to take the test and get your space and equipment ready. Yeah, for example, before the test, so just keep in mind that you should select a room and prepare everything on that room, prepare your equipment, and everything should be ready for the test. So these are the 4 tips that you should keep in mind before the test. And there are some things that you should keep during the test while you are having the test. So you should keep in mind these 3 things. The first thing, right before you start the test, use the advice in how to test your best to get in the right mindset. Don't forget to refresh your memory of the rules for test taking. Yeah. There are some rules, for example, on this part, which was by the topic name of how to test your best. So we have covered a lot of tips and strategies for taking the test. So please keep in mind all those strategies, and also keep in mind that how to solve each question type. Okay, so the next chapters of this book, they will particularly talk about every single question type that you are going to have on the test. And then become familiar with the test by exploring your online account. In addition to this guide, and I'm sorry, I think I just I moved on to the wrong line. I'm so sorry for that. So guys, while taking the test, don't look away from the screen or exit out of the test application. Try not to look at the timer too often. So guys, these are the things that we have spoken about many times on the 2 previous sessions. That please don't look around. Please don't look to the clock, even to the clock of your computer, to the timer of your computer too often. Just concentrate on the test. because even looking at the timer, just the only help that the timer can do for you is increasing your stress. Just concentrate on the question and solve the question. And the last tip for during the test is that after you finish, wait until your test has completely uploaded before leaving the Duolingo English Test desktop app. You will see a notification on the screen when your results have been uploaded. Yeah, they will tell you that, for example, the results have been uploaded, and then, for example, you can sign out from the website, or you can close the website. So just keep these three things on mind during the test. And finally, what will happen after the test? So very simple things. After the test is not something very crucial. Just keep in mind that within 48 hours you will receive your score report, and you can view your results from your online account, and then you can start sending scores as soon as they are available to you. And there is no pressure to decide which institutions will receive your scores, or when you can send them to as many institutions as you want for no additional costs. Yeah, this is really a good thing for Duolingo, guys. You don't have this flexibility in TOEFL. In TOEFL, before the test, you have to choose 4 institutions to send your test scores. But on Duolingo, they don't just pressure you to decide which institution to, for example, send your scores. So you are free to choose any institution that you want. So don't be worried about it. And by the money you pay for the test, you can share your score to about 40 universities or institutions. So that's really a large number, and it can solve your problem. So guys, these were the things that we had up to this part of the class. So we have spoken about the reading section strategies, the listening strategies, and also we digged into how to test your best. I told you that please make sure that you are comfortable and energized, you have the right mindset, you ensure about privacy and check your equipments. And then we moved on the topic of how to pace yourself, and we particularly concentrated on before the test, during the test, and after the test. So guys, right now, so that's the end of this chapter. The third chapter that we have is on the book is the third chapter that we have. I'm sorry, that's test structure, video walkthrough, test lengths, about adaptive testing and how the test is set up. So we will cover this part of the book or this unit after your questions. So for this part of the class, I'm moving to your questions. So some of you had some questions before the class, so right now you can raise your hands and randomly you can ask your questions. So first of all, Banu Setara Javid, please ask your question.
Father, you have my sound?
Yeah, I have your voice.
Okay, I just have one question, that how we should enroll. It means we have to leave the email or something else. Just I have some question about enrollment in Duolingo English Test.
Enrolling on the Duolingo test, that's easy. Just you go to their website, you make an account, and then you purchase a test. That's this simple. You purchase a test. It means the tests are they are like something you buy, like from Amazon or from any other website. You buy something. The tests on Duolingo and also in TOEFL, they're the same thing. You just purchase a test. You go to their website, you make an account, and then there are orders, and you just purchase a test, and you select the time and the place. You just, for example, the place is not something very crucial for the website, but the time is important. You just select the time, and that's the end of the enrollment. So when you were trying to, for example, register for the test, or for example to enroll for the test, so please message for us in Rasal Foundation. We can help you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So Bono Mohammadi, Samira Mohammadi, you can ask your question. Bono Mohammadi, please ask your question.
Hello, sir.
Hello, hope you're doing well.
Thank you. Sir, I have a problem. When I listen to English videos, I lose my focus. I don't know what should I do. Do you have any resolution?
Okay. The thing that can help you is note taking. Please take notes during listening, okay? Because it's normal, it's completely natural that when you are listening to something, maybe you will think about another thing, and for example, in your mind, just this kind of distraction happens, and you can't concentrate. Note taking really helps you to concentrate on what you are listening, because if you don't concentrate for 1 second, you will lose an important information. That's why while you are listening, try to take notes. Just take a piece of paper and pencil and start note taking. So, what was the main idea? What was the first reason? What was the second reason? What was the example? What was the date, the number, the now, the name of the people? So, just try to note the most important things from the thing that you're listening, whether it's a lecture, whether it's a podcast or anything it is. This way you can just increase your concentration on the listening section. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Very nice question. Thank you. Bono Anisgul. Anisgul Rasuli, you can ask your question.
Sir, hope you're doing well. Sir, I had a question about the listening, some good strategies that I can use to improve my listening skills. Although I listen to English almost every day, about 2 or more hours a day, but I'm not very good in listening, and especially in academic listening. It's hard to understand academic listenings. What should I do?
Yeah,
Some good strategy.
yeah, good question. Thank you. Guys, I think academic English or listening to academic presentation is much more easier than the casual English, because when we are learning English in Afghanistan, we are learning English through textbooks. We are learning English through classrooms. We are learning English through teachers. Okay, English is not our native language. That's why casual English is difficult for people who learn English, but academic English is easier. Why? Because we are learning from the day that we have started learning English up to now. We are learning academic English, so academic English should be easier for you. So when please increase the amount of practice you do in English, okay? The amount of time that you listen to English, please increase it, and please listen to the American podcasts. I don't know that how do you listen, but I have the same suggestion that I told for Bono Mohammadi. I have that suggestion for you. That's please, while you're listening to something, take notes. And after the listening ended up, ask yourself that what was this listening about? And then present yourself that what was the listening about. For example, play the listening during the listening, for example, or play the podcast during the podcast. Write the notes, and when the notes are done and when the podcast was completed, just ask yourself that what was the listening about, and then start presenting and talking to yourself that, for example, this listening was about psychology, and they have spoken about, for example, the relationship of families and blah blah things. So this way it really helps.
Okay, thanks, sir. I usually listen to English movies, and it's easy for me to understand what are they saying. But
So after
when
this,
I
try
listen
to
to
yeah. After this, try to listen to
and
lectures.
okay, and I used to listen to Ellen Shoes that or a viewer special English sometimes, and but I need to listen to an academic listening more than 10 times to understand what
So
my
looks like
friends
yeah, looks
also.
like you're really more into casual English. Okay, so that's why try to put your concentration and put your practices on the academic English. Go to the TED YouTube channel. They have really academic content. So and also try to enroll to the publications I told you and listen to their podcasts. They're really academic, and just concentrate practicing on that, on the academic listening.
Thanks.
Okay, so the next one, Banu Wajiha. Banu Wajiha Bigzad. You can ask your question.
Hello, sir. Hope you're doing well.
Hello, hope you're doing well too.
Um, my question is that I think that my speaking is good in my mind, just, but when I want to speak, I can't organize what to say. For example, in demo test, when I passed the demo, when I saw the picture, I can't. My mind mind hang to what to say in this limited minutes. So what should I do for that?
Yeah. Guys, as I told you, please use the strategies of speaking, okay? When you read a book, for example, when you read a book normally without, for example, reading it aloud, in fact, you are reading it in your mind. And this way you think that your speaking is really good, okay? But when you start speaking, everything just goes and you don't have anything to say. So practice it by, as I told you, by reading the books aloud, speaking with yourself, watching the movies and videos or podcasts, listening to podcasts, and then repeating those things on your own words. These strategies can really help. And for the questions particularly, yeah, it's completely normal that when you for the first time when you just they show you a picture and they say start speaking about this picture, that's really difficult to, you don't know from where to you should start and what should you say and how do you, for example, end it up. So that's natural, guys. We will talk about it. For example, particularly we will learn that how to start that question exactly, what to say in that question exactly. We will work on that, okay? For example, when they show you a picture, so by which sentence you should start, after the which sentence you say, so you have at least, for example, 90 seconds. We will organize it in 90 seconds. What should you say? How should you organize your speaking? We will talk about these things on the class, so don't be worried about it. Okay, so the next person. Yeah, here we have someone by the name of Anan, and O is very big, and for example, there is a below hard, and I unfortunately don't know your name. Please introduce yourself and ask your question.
Hi, sir. This is Abed. I'm going to ask you, sir, 2 questions.
Okay, so before the questions, can you please tell me what's your name on this account, and why did you choose that name?
Sir, this is Anan, and my name is Abed.
So, is there any philosophy behind Anan?
So actually, we are nothing, sir.
Oh, I don't think so. You know, guys, I just read a topic. It was from a famous publication, and they were saying that the online names, the online profiles, the online status, for example, your profile on WhatsApp, your status, they just reflect your personality or your name. That's why I thought that Anan has a good, for example, philosophy for yourself. That's why you have chosen it as your name online.
Actually, sir, it doesn't have any philosophy, sir.
Okay, so what about the below heart?
Just, it's
Again, no idea. Okay, sounds like both of the things, the name and the below heart, they are for nothing. Okay, so when they don't have any philosophy, so please clean them. Please just delete them and instead write your beautiful name.
Okay, sir. I will rename it.
Okay, that's
Okay,
nice.
sir. I'm going to ask you, sir, a question.
Okay, please tell me.
Sir, is there any age limitation in Duolingo test?
Okay, looks like you haven't been on the previous sessions because this question was asked. No, there is no age limitation. Even kids can have the test. For example, there is no age limitation. Age is not a limit for them.
Okay, sir. And the second question is how many times we can take the test?
As much as you want, no matters. Just they announce your result again. You can, for example, register, and then again you can register. And for example, it is something that it does not have any limits. You can take the test as many times as you can.
Is there any chance that someone is permanently blocked from the Duolingo test?
Yeah, there are chances. Because I have heard from some of the students, some of my friends that they said, for example, that person is blocked. They block your account, yeah. If they receive you cheating, for example, a big cheating, for example, a small cheating like turning your head, they just block that test, and you will lose your, for example, $60. But if they, for example, understand that you are really a big cheater and you are doing something very, for example, tough, and they will block your account. They have your passport, they have your ID, they have your email address and everything, and they will block you. Chances are. So please, that's why security is really important on the test.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So the next person, guys, when you are done, so please lower your hand. Bono Nilufar, please ask your question.
Hello and good evening, everyone. So I have a question. I would like to know if I follow the British English in writing and speaking, should it be okay or should I follow the American English? For instance, I write favor Favor. Will I be penalized for not writing Favor or no?
I think I have responded to this question before also, that when you stick to American English, so please be American in the entire test. For example, on that time, color is COLOR. If you stick to the British English, so be British, no matters, be British in all the test. Okay? On that time, write COLOUR for color. Okay? And just pronounce like British people. It means if you select British, so please stick British till the end. If you select American, so please be American till the end. Don't switch between these two things. Switching between American and British can make problems, but sticking to one of them can make no problem. So don't be worried about it.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Banu Rahima Nabizada, you can ask your question.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, sir, I'm going to ask my questions. As we know that when we take the real test of English, the Duolingo English test, the result is going to announced after 2 days, right?
Yeah.
So, but if when we take the practice test, it's showing the result on time. So why? I just want to know why the result is going to announce so late.
When you are taking the practice test, artificial intelligence or AI is monitoring you, and automatically after the test they announce you, because AI is really fast. They can automatically say your result. On the real test also, there is AI. It monitors your test, and if for example, if that was just AI to announce your result, they would announce your result automatically on the when you finish the test, right after the test. But there are some human raters, human teachers in Duolingo, and they rate your speaking and writing as well as AI do. They will also do it. Okay, it means artificial intelligence checks your your speaking and your writing, and on the same time your speaking and writings are monitored. They're scored by real humans. That's why it takes around 2 days. Hope you got your answer, because on the real test day, yeah, humans also score you. That's why it takes around 2 days to tell you the result. In TOEFL, for example, the reading and listening section are they automatically you receive your score after the test. When you've just the test ended up, you will receive that in reading you got this many number. In, for example, listening, you get this number. For speaking and writing, human raters will rate them. So thank you for the question. The next person, Banu Mahdiya Hosseini.
Hello, sir. I have some questions.
Hello. Please ask your question.
The first one is okay. The first one is in listening section. Do we have time to read the questions before we listen to the audio?
Which kind of questions do you mean particularly?
In the real test, whenever there is so a listening section has questions, right? So I mean that before listening to the podcast or the audio, can we read first the questions? Do we have this time, or we have to first we have to listen and then we can solve the problem, the question?
You have time for reading the question. Don't be worried about it. For example, they give you around 12 seconds, 15 seconds, very less. You have time for that. Don't be worried about it. Just please take a practice test. You will realize that what's going on the test.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
And also I have another question.
Okay, tell me please.
So you mentioned you mentioned about ID. Is it given by the site?
Yeah,
Yes.
they will give you a number. For example, when you make an account and when you purchase a test, they will give you a number. But here, ID, when they say ID in this part, they mean your passport or your ID card. I mean تذكرة.
Okay, so it means without passport we cannot take this test.
I'm not very sure about it, but I think the electronic تذكرة also works. But passport is much more valid.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Uh, Abdullah Azizi. Mr. Abdullah, you can ask your question.
Yes, sir. I hope you're doing well. I have a question from you, and this is very important for me that you answer me that.
Okay, please tell me your question.
Yes, right now when we pay attention to the current situation of Afghanistan, which test is important for me? That go to one of the famous university, American or British, regardless of effort. This is the main part that you should pay attention for that, please.
Regardless of effort.
Yes.
Yeah, regardless of effort is important. So I can say in one word Duolingo. Because, why? Because IELTS is impossible in Afghanistan. Maybe some test centers cheated for you with a big money like $1,200 or $1,800. Maybe they will do that for you. TOEFL is also expensive, $230 officially, and in these cheating test centers, they will get you, for example, around $600 or $800. But the only test which is very cheap, around $60, and it lasts 1 hour. It's quite easier than others. It just checks your English. It is, for example, online by your own computer. Is a Duolingo test. But yeah, the best one can fit you. That's Duolingo. And please don't say regardless of effort. If you don't, it means try. You will never be accepted in a good American university. Even in a bad American university, all American universities are the same. Guys, if one American university accepts you, chances are that most of them will accept you. Why? Because the standards are the same. Okay? If one of them reject you, somehow a lot of them will reject you.
Yes, sir. The main point is that right now I'm not clear about the money. My question was that which test is wider that right now that we should go and pass that test.
Okay, the valuable, very valuable is TOEFL. TOEFL is the most valuable one. Then that's the IELTS, and finally that's Duolingo. Because TOEFL is accepted by approximately all American universities.
Thank you, sir. Have a good time.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for the question. And the next person, Nasreen. Banu Nasreen, you please ask your question.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you so much.
First of all, thank you so much, sir, for your time and effort. And my question is this, that you have told that we have to spend our 1 to 2 hour on, we should give time to English. But honestly, I give 4 hour a day. But again, when I start speaking in a public, so in that time, I forget the words that I should not forget.
Okay, speaking in public is something completely different. Even if you speak in public in Persian language, it will make a lot of problems, because speaking in public is completely a different thing. There are a large crowd of people, and you need to be, for example, someone in a high level of motivation. Okay, the stress and your shyness, they will, for example, push you to forget the words when public is speaking. Okay, that's something natural. You can solve this problem just by interacting more with the people and being so much social.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And the next person, Banu Mahshid Ibrahimi. Banu Ibrahimi, please ask your question.
I'm Okay, thank you. And could you please tell me which books should we read
I
for
told you that
improvement?
try to read some self improvement books, because whether they help you in English, on the same time they can help you to be better in life. For example, self improvement books like from Mr. Brian Tracy. Also, try to read the books from the most successful CEOs in the world, like from Steve Jobs, like the story of Elon Musk, like Becoming from Michelle Obama, like The Last Girl, like the books of Shiv Hera. That's an Indian writer, but he writes very well. And the Rich Dad and Poor Dad, and there are thousands of other books that you can find them in libraries in Kabul. So just try to make a habit of reading, because reading is really important in all the tests that you are going to have.
Thank you
So
so much for your information.
you're welcome. So the last person here, Muhammad Reza Saburi. Mr. Saburi, please ask your question.
Hello, sir. I have a question. Can you give me a little information about Cambridge qualification test?
Cambridge qualification test. Is it from Cambridge University?
Yes, sir. I saw a scholarship that requires Cambridge qualification.
Cambridge qualification test. I think it's also a kind of English test, but unfortunately, I don't have a lot of information about it. I don't even. I have never even gone to that test. I just know about IELTS, TOEFL, and Duolingo with ACT subject test, GRE, and GMAT. These are the areas that I somehow knew about them, but unfortunately, the name of the test that you told, I don't know about the test.
Okay,
Please
sir.
have a Google. Please have a Google, and please ask from ChatGPT, from other chatbots, AI chatbots, from search on the YouTube. There are a lot of essential information, and there's a lot of good information there.
Okay, sir. And one another question that I had last night, but about poor connectivity.
Okay, so please
I lost the
tell me
session.
that question.
Uh, so can we use Cambridge Oxford English Dictionary that you told last night, then for free?
There are some versions for free, but I'm not very sure about it because some of their versions they cost. But still, there are some free versions on Google, on Play Store or App Store. So don't be worried about it. Just go there and download it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And Banu Mahdiya Hosseini, looks like you also have some questions.
Sir, I don't have a question. Just I want to think about the previous question about the Cambridge examination.
Yeah, that's really nice that
I
you have
don't
information about it. So please share your information.
So it is not a lot, but as I know, it is the another name of this exam is an FCE exam, and it is the test of general English. And as I heard, it requires more grammar, and as I studied 1 month's preparation, and it is much more harder than this test.
Okay,
Our teacher said.
that's much harder. So I'm not really more into the adjectives. When you give information about something, please don't share the adjectives. Hard makes us afraid of the test.
Sir, but it was as I told 1 month I studied that preparation, and it was different. It's not academic, but it needs grammar, but it looks hard. Then, yeah, if we try, we can. It's clear.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much for your nice information. So, guys, looks like the questions are ended up, and there are no more questions. So, and that's also the end of the class. Thank you so much for tuning into the class. If still you have some questions, you can just even you can comment on the video that's on this video that I'm going to upload it on YouTube, and also for all the students that are watching this session through YouTube, if you find any question through this session, so you can comment these questions, and we're going to find your comments, and we're going to answer to your comments. So this was the third session that we had for the Duolingo test prep. So for the next sessions, I'll notify you. They will be on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. That's it. And that's all we have here. So hope you all have a good night. Goodbye.